Welcome to TMZ Live. So Diddy is serving prison time right now for violating the Mann Act. He was cleared on some of the sexual abuse allegations, really all of them, in the criminal case, but there's a new one.
Yes, now he is facing, he had already been facing a civil lawsuit over what we're about to tell you, but now there is an actual criminal investigation into what a music producer says happened in LA in 2020. And it involves a sex act that, according to this producer, was performed with a T-shirt, and that basically Diddy asked him to help him with this sex act. I can't, I know this sounds, it's weird, I can't say what happened.
He says he was invited to participate in this sex act. It was underneath a T-shirt. He says he ignored the request to participate with Diddy in the sex act. Diddy then finished and completed the sex act and took the T-shirt and threw it at him. And that's the allegation of the sort of sexual battery that is at hand here. This is a music producer who you may have heard of from a civil suit that also mentioned Diddy and Biggie's son, CJ. So they're embroiled in this lawsuit because in 2021, the alleged sexual assault incident was 2020. In 2021, he says CJ, Biggie's son, lured him to Santa Monica, where he was then assaulted physically and called a snitch by Diddy.
But that's not the basis of the criminal investigation.
No, the criminal investigation that the LA Sheriff's Department is looking into is the incident with the T-shirt being tossed.
Now, was that part of, because there was some interaction between the two, according to the lawsuit. So was this part of a freak-off? Was there something going on otherwise?
According to CJ, and that's where the most details of this lawsuit is, that this is a music producer slash publicist who wanted to get some music off the ground and was working with artists, and they decided not to go forward with his music. And they say this is an embittered person who has now made these false allegations about sexual assault and so forth.
Right, but I'm saying, what is his allegation? Is he saying that there was some...
It was a photo shoot is what he says. He was invited to a photo shoot, and when he got there, Diddy was masturbating under this T-shirt and then committed the act.
So
that's the allegation.
And what's new here is that he's now gone to police. He filed this lawsuit back in July, I believe it was.
I want to say that's right.
Is when he filed the civil lawsuit. He's now gone to police and filed, because he had not before the lawsuit, has filed this police report. And that's what's launched this investigation.
If you file a police report, it will trigger an investigation. They have to look into these things. It doesn't give it more veracity or anything like that. It's just that they have made this allegation, and the deputies have to investigate it. Now, Diddy's team has said this is categorically false. This is defamatory. We'll vindicate him in court, as we did in our other criminal trial and so forth. But this is now out there, and he's going to have to sort of deal with it.
He already had, we know, a list like this of civil lawsuits that he had to deal with, and this was one of them, but now this is the only one I can think of that has triggered a criminal investigation.
And it's lurid with the Biggie son allegation, so it's obviously got a lot of interest.
Has Biggie's son responded?
He has filed a countersuit, actually, against this guy.
That's where he's saying this is a jilted producer who we didn't work with and go forward with. And his allegation towards CJ is that CJ lured him to Santa Monica so that he could be assaulted.
I'm Suzanne Roxanne. I'm in New Mexico. As far as, Diddy's assistant, that claim is consistent with all the other claims formerly against Diddy and Diddy's behavior. I don't blame this victim for coming out, 5 or so years later. Diddy was very powerful. I assume this would be a case based off of testimony only, unless, he saved the T-shirt. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I'm not quick generally to jump to conclusions, but I believe this victim, and I hope he gets his day in court.
Yeah, I think it's too early to know. To really evaluate truth or lies. People could say anything they want to say in a lawsuit.
Especially because we've seen so many of these civil suits, and there are usually some similarities between them. So who knows? If it goes to court, then we'll find out. Well, if you want any more evidence that the Epstein files and all the questions about Jeffrey Epstein and who he knew, who hung out with him, if you want any more evidence that it is really eating at the president, this video is all you have to say. That I understand that President Trump has come around now and said that he encouraged Republicans to vote for the petition.
It's all fake.
To release the files. That vote happened today, and as expected, it passed. Now we'll see what the Senate does. But the president keeps saying, we've got nothing to hide, let it come out. So why on Friday on Air Force One, when a reporter was asking him, several reporters were asking him about the files, did he turn to a female reporter and say this?
We dictated a couple of memos to something we bring. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that identify J.P. Morgan shares. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the files,
Quiet, Miguel.
Wow. Quiet piggy. It is disgusting. And I got to say, Donald Trump has said stuff like this before. And when he had the MAGA base so solidified and scared that nobody would break from it, he pretty much could have fired a shot on Fifth Avenue. But I don't think that's the case anymore. So I don't know that this goes over the way it did 5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
The one thing that I will, and if this jumped out at you in the introduction when I said that this happened Friday on Air Force One, it is now Tuesday. This finally came to light on Monday night,
which is
why
shocking.
It took
on the White House, the White House.
Why did it take 3 days, 4 days to come out? It cuts completely against your point.
Well, it doesn't cut against the point. It just means the White House press corps was asleep.
But nobody asked.
I think what it speaks to is that
he said it.
It's
right, but nobody even knew. It's crazy that nobody knew.
They knew
it's
about
on
it.
camera.
They knew about it, and there were some places that were sort of there was some buzz about it over the weekend, and then the video finally came out. I don't know why it took that long, and I think what it really speaks to is that, and this is sad, that it's just normalized now that the president saying things like this
here's my
doesn't
rebuttal.
bother people the way it should.
I don't think it's normalized anymore. I think.
Oh, I do.
That's the only explanation
He's a mud
for
monster,
it taking.
and it's just more mud. Like nothing. It's
I know,
nothing.
but the mud monster's lusing his power.
No, he's not. You're so wrong about that. And here, you're so right.
He's losing
because Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's
not only because it's not only Marjorie Taylor.
You're looking at her.
There are ebbs and flows in every presidency.
Not in his.
Yes.
Not in his. With the Republican base, he was solid, and they've broken like a dam.
Who's the most powerful Republican, bar none, right now? It's Donald Trump. Who's the most powerful politician in the world? It's Donald Trump. Period.
You know what? He is losing his power, and you're not seeing it.
I'm not.
He's
Maybe
losing
I'm missing it. Maybe I am.
He's losing it in the economy. Every poll shows it. He is losing it even on immigration. So, and on Epstein,
let me say
forget it.
To your point about, I'll give you a second, just one second, Mike. I want to play because we started talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This morning, before the vote, she was on the steps of the Capitol and addressed directly the president, calling her a traitor.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves.
She is squarely calling Donald Trump
and
a
the
traitor.
women she's referring to are the Epstein survivors who are
clearly calling Donald Trump a traitor.
See, you know what? It is comical to see a lot of the people on the left who are now hailing, Marjorie Taylor Greene said this.
By the way,
it's like Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was the worst guy in the world. His daughter gets critical of the president. We love Dick Cheney. Jeffrey Epstein. This guy is a convicted pedophile, but he goes against the president. And now, hey, Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump. It's like the hate of Donald Trump consumes people so much. Look who you're aligning yourself with.
Let me give you a solid, just a personal opinion.
Yes.
Joe Biden is absolutely as shady and complicit as Donald Trump is, because both of them are not releasing this file. Joe Biden had 4 years to release this file. Here's my take on it, and I may be right, I may be wrong. My take is there are both Democrats and Republicans in these files, because Jeffrey Epstein didn't distinguish. He socialized with all of them. And that when Biden was president, he didn't want to embarrass the Democrats in the file. And now Trump is president, and he has other reasons for not wanting to release the files, not the least of which is he socialized with them. So they're both
I think you're right about
both
that.
culpable in this case.
And you can't say that as much as he is saying, yeah, I have nothing to hide, let's go.
Yeah.
Why are you calling a reporter
A pig.
No,
by the way, not yelling, not
Right.
in the middle of like at his rallies,
Right.
he would say things to people.
Yeah.
You're right here.
No,
watching this woman saying,
and out of anger, out of real anger.
Here's what I would say. First of all, I don't like it. It's mean. It's distracting. It doesn't accomplish anything. Speaking of Joe Biden, he literally called Trump supporters garbage a year and some months ago.
You're
he
right.
called them garbage.
But you're right.
Hillary
Okay.
Clinton, Trump
Okay, that's
supporters
not
are
the same thing as
deplorable.
looking. I get it.
It's worse.
Those
No,
are-
I
no,
think
those are
I think
blanket political statements.
Babcock has a point that you cannot,
That's apples and oranges to look a reporter in the face and call her
Right.
a
And I
pig
don't
and
like
tell her
it.
to be
They're
quiet.
both despicable. They're both despicable.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm calling from Philadelphia. The thing about this interaction, it's really giving like no attempt to do damage control. His team is not giving him any pointers about like, hey, here's the deflection, here's the distraction, double down on it. I mean, he's just going straight for the insults. I mean, seriously, like, would an innocent person just like say, quiet piggy? No, they would not. Like, an innocent person would stand behind it and just like actually give the press like something clear to say. And I just think it's like so interesting that, like, sorry to this lady for getting called a piggy, but I'm so glad the press is like honing in on it because I have no love for Trump.
My only flaw with what you just said there is that you said he's not taking advice from his advisors. I don't think that's something, I don't envy them at all. There's nothing you could advise him. He's going to do and say whatever he wants to in that moment. That's just the way he's always been.
Coming up.
Tinder Swindler became a big thing after the Netflix series about a gentleman who was going around the world using the dating service to meet women, got them to give up millions of dollars in some cases, and then he took off. His name's Simon Leviev, and his team says that these charges were false.
Be right back.
So the phrase Tinder Swindler became a big thing after the Netflix series about a gentleman who, according to what the producers laid out and what the victims, alleged victims, have said, was going around the world using the dating service to meet women and then basically got them to give up millions of dollars in some cases, and then he took off. Hence the Tinder Swindler. Well, the gentleman in that series is named Simon Leviev, and he actually just got out of prison. He was arrested in Georgia, the country, and was arrested back in September and just got out. I'm not sure why it was such a short sentence. Is part of what his team says that these charges that he was facing were false, and that's why he's out now. And he is joining us to talk about this case and all of his alleged victims who still want to see justice served. Simon, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. So, can we start with your release? It's confusing to me. If you were jailed there, how did it come about?
Related to fraud charges in Germany.
And that months later, you're freed. Can you kind of give us the lowdown on how that happened?
Yeah, I landed in Georgia, the country. It was a red notice from Interpol that there is a arrest warrant for Germany. So I've been arrested automatically for 90 days. It's the procedure of extradition. And during this time, my lawyers from Israel, from Georgia, and from Germany was working. And apparently there is no case. It just was like literally like a false allegation, and all the case has been dismissed. And I have been released, didn't been charged in anything, and it's all been dropped. I'm now in the hotel, still in Georgia, waiting for some of my stuff to get from the authorities. And tomorrow I will be back home.
And back home, where is that?
In Israel.
Okay, so when you get back home, I'm sure even before you went, you were arrested in September. When this series came out in 2022, and ever since then, the women who were in that series say that they've gotten no justice, that there have never been any charges against you for what they laid out in that series. And they, of course, allege that you swindled them out of millions of dollars. And to them, you would say what?
Again, as you said, is alleged. If it was something, even the smallest things, I would be already arrested. If Germany, just on a false allegation, was able to get me just to stop me, so if it was something, I'm sure so I will be already arrested. This is that people can claim is words don't cost money. The truth is always prevails. I just want to clear and state those allegations again. It's from 2017. This is the movie came out and 2022, so it doesn't mean any just allegation in the same people over and over again. And women nowadays doing a lot of things in order to get famous. I think you or TMZ know that better than everybody else.
So let me ask you something, because you know, I have seen in my lifetime lots of situations where a woman becomes enamored with a man becomes enamored with a woman, whatever, and that sometimes gifts start going from one person to another, and it may be substantial sums of money where somebody falls in love with the other person. Is that kind of what you say was going on, that there were a number of women who became enamored with you and gave you lots of things, but you're not saying it's theft? It was just they liked you a lot or loved you and gave you a lot of stuff and now have buyer's remorse. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely not. No, any woman gave me any money or gave me anything. On the contrary, I'm the one who gave them. They should not call me the Tinder swindler. They should call me the Tinder donor. Those girls doesn't have millions. The accusations are like $200,000. Those people doesn't have them. The people working as a barista in a coffee shop. So, and to say targeted it and something like that, if they said I targeted it, where is the business model? I will invest on a girl $500,000 to take 200,000. Like, think for a second. I'm living this jet set lifestyle from 2015. You're really thinking if from 2015 till this moment, I mean, I have the best defense teams on the planet that cost millions. So you're really thinking all of this funding from girls. If I'm that famous, my name was between the top 10 most Google name in the world in 2022. So I'm sure so the world know my name. If I was that swindler, should be a string of 1,000 ladies that will say I scammed them, or people or companies that there is nobody. And all of these years, I'm free man.
So Simon, I'm curious if you're saying that, what I hear you saying is that the women who were in that series and the producers of that series lied, is what you're saying, and that they have besmirched your good name. I'm curious why you have yet to file what would be a pretty easy defamation lawsuit against the producers.
First of all, I did make a defamation lawsuit already in 2019 when this article has been published. Then Netflix has bought the article. I was at the beginning, I was a part of this Netflix things with Raw TV with Felicity Morris. I was a part of this production. And again, in the law, you can use the word allegedly, and this is literally clearing you out from everything. I did file a lawsuit and a letter of demands and things for Netflix. I cannot say at the moment where it states in this current situation. But yeah, I did, against the girls and against Netflix themselves.
And where did you file those lawsuits?
The lawsuits in the United States, and at the moment we have ongoing talks with them. So I cannot specify more things than that. And the lawsuits against the girl, it's in Greece, where I was held in 2019, arrested.
Okay, so finally, and I'm not saying this in any accusatory way, because I've seen cases where lots of people go after somebody, and all of the people who are making accusations, nobody was buying their story. In your case, there's more than one woman. I mean, there are a number of women with the same story. So why target you? If they're all lying, how did all of them kind of get together and target you?
Look, if you're a restaurant and you have 1,000 customers, you can have 3 or 4 or 5 unhappy customers. Again, thank God they accusing me in money, and no, God forbid, on any sexual or any single things. Nowadays, in the Me Too era and all of these things is something which is very easy things to say, I gave him cash or something like that. To say 3 girls out of dozens, so what is it like? It's a joke. And if you just putting things together, so it just doesn't make sense. So could be a broken heart. Someone want to be famous on your back. You're starting to lie one time. Now it's become a very big business. Look, the girl from Netflix got her own TV show on Netflix, Love Con Revenge. To remind you, she was a barista before that. She all her life wanted to be famous. So, and still she claiming that she have debts. They get a GoFundMe page. They got £800,000. They got millions out of all of these things, but they still claiming that they have debts. So obviously, like 10 years later, I don't know how long. So it's ridiculous.
Simon, if you're saying that you have 1,000 customers, you're just bragging.
I am not. I mean, I'm saying like in general. I mean, I've been
I
with
was
two girls
kidding. I was
throughout
kidding.
my life. I give it as a metaphorical way, but you know what I mean.
I get you. Thank you for the time. We really appreciate it.
All right. We will see where this goes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Coming up.
Well, as Ariana Grande is getting ready for Wicked for Good, she's also talking about her music career.
I think that's why I'm doing it. Because I'm like, one last hurrah.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Well, as Ariana Grande is getting ready for Wicked for Good, which it does sound like it might be the biggest premiere of the year.
The biggest pre-sale in movie history.
On Fandango, anyway.
Fandango.
Whatever that's worth. But she's also talking about her music career. Seems like she's ready for a little break. She went on Amy Poehler's podcast to obviously talk about Wicked, but also had this message for her fans, her music fans.
I do know that I'm very excited to do this small tour, but I think it might not happen again for a long time.
Sure.
You know, so I'm going to give it my all, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm so grateful that I think that's why I'm doing it. Because I'm like, one last hurrah.
Perfect. Because
for now.
Then you really appreciate it when you get to go back to it.
So much more. And like you are able to do better by that art form because you're appreciative and really able to feel present in it.
Does this mean that she wants to spend more time acting?
I don't know. All I know is that what a great gig that you could. I'll take a couple of years, 3 years off.
It takes some time off.
But this annoys me
nice
because
work if you can get it.
You saw
yes,
Wicked last night.
I
right?
did see Wicked last night. 10 out of 10. It already has 71% of Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. So I have
It's what
the
on Rotten
numbers.
Tomatoes?
71%. So
that's good.
it was
It's decent. I mean,
amazing.
it's not like
It's not 100
No,
or 90.
The first one
or
was
even 80.
better,
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a C.
in terms of her touring, I mean, it's been over 10 years. Her first tour was in 2013. So she's been, out and about performing for a while. So now leaning back into
I've been working
acting.
since 1960 something.
Okay, but touring.
I haven't had a break.
1916.
No, I mean, come on. Dude, she's been touring since 2013. Okay.
Yeah, but going on tour is so extraneous.
Well, you
now
should have been
she's
a
doing
singer.
it for acting. Yeah,
That's why you chose the wrong profession.
there you go.
Anyway, I'll tell you, these premieres, I remember like you do one big premiere in Hollywood, or
Last
maybe
night's
New York.
premiere in New York was
Right.
it's the fourth that I can count.
Yeah, right, because
that
she
I
obviously just
remember,
had
and
that one in
probably more than that.
Singapore. She went out to Europe as well. So this is one of the first ones. I think LA might be next.
Okay, not that I want to pit people against whatever, but who's better, Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande?
Of course, this is the question. Well, you know that they were both nominated. Cynthia Erivo was for the first
you're
part.
avoiding the
she's the second part.
question.
Well, I guess
Well,
we'll
who'd
see
you vote
if she
for?
wins. I don't vote. It's the Academy.
But if you did.
Oof, that's tough.
Oh, you got to
They're
go.
the same.
man.
Huh?
They're two different roles.
I know, but you got to vote.
Right. Well, who was better in their role?
Come on, you got to vote.
Who's brought the character more to
I
life?
would say Ariana Grande for character-wise, but
God.
Cynthia's voice
You
is
got to
just-
have one. Come on,
Come
give me
on,
one.
why can't
Wait, you said
everybody
Cynthia's
win?
voice was better?
I like
See, I would have
Cynthia's
thought it would be
voice
the other way around.
No, Ariana was very operatic in this, which I know she's supposed to be, but I like the belting,
All right.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm from Australia, and this is so unfortunate. We haven't had the chance to see her, and if she doesn't make it to Australia, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be upset. But she is a pinnacle of pop culture, so it's kind of sad not to see her go on another tour after this. So it's pretty sad.
Would you go to the airport if she showed up in Australia?
100%. I'm a big fan. She's one of the top pop influences that I've had over my years. So definitely be there with a waving flag.
Coming up.
Bill Maher making a big change in his life professionally, though I think it has something to do with clearly has something to do with his personal fears for his own safety.
I feel like it was a great choice because I don't want to be out there in this country, in this political atmosphere. I could get shot by the left or the right.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Bill Maher making a big change in his life professionally, though I think it has something to do with clearly has something to do with his personal fears for his own safety. So he was on his podcast, Club Random, with Patton Oswalt. And I think he had said to stand-up comedians sort of talking about their careers and being on the road. And Bill made this announcement about what his plans are in stand-up comedy, at least for the immediate future.
I got off the road this year I had been doing it for
Really?
Yeah. I stopped doing it at the end of 20.
What made you stop?
Well, I just did my 13th HBO special. I feel like that's a good body of work.
Yeah.
A number of things. Just got tired of the travel, obviously. I miss doing it. Also, I feel like it was a great choice because I don't want to be out there in this country, in this political atmosphere. I could get shot by the left or the right.
Yeah, well, at this point...
it's a good time to not be out there.
So I can actually I can decipher this. So I know him. He's a friend. And the way he said it is really interesting because everything he said aligns. That he kind of felt he had done it at the end of last year. And what he's saying is it was a fortuitous decision because now, looking at it, in addition to the fact that he's already done it.
So you're saying he would have, regardless of the political atmosphere he had done.
And he said that. He said
worked out.
I've done my 13th HBO special. So he essentially said that look, I've kind of done touring. You know, it's hard and everything else, but there's an additional benefit now because of the climate.
Yeah, I was just saying you could tour also without doing the HBO specials.
Well, he didn't want. He was done touring, but it really is. What the interesting thing about the comment, and it's really true, and I kind of identify with this with him. That Bill Maher pisses off the right, and he also pisses off the left. And even though he's more to the left, he's more center left, but he pisses off the left wing. He gets it from both sides. And when you look at the climate now, and especially after Charlie Kirk, does this become a thing? And
we talked about this. Like, what is it going to be like for
candidates?
For candidates campaigning.
Yeah. That's right. But Bill is a lightning rod, and the fact that he can call out the left. Some people on the left view it as a betrayal, which is stupid, I think, but they do. And on the right, he calls them out enough that they just don't like him, even though there's a big, 80% of the country is in that middle, and that's who he's kind of, referencing.
He's referencing, so you would think that normally he would feel better because that's who he's.
It takes one.
But it only takes one on the extremes.
Even though he says he's done touring because he's just done, I think it's interesting that he says because of the political climate as well. But I think it is so crazy right now that we need more comedy. We need more people calling out everyone.
He's got a huge forum.
He's got a platform with his show.
His television show.
But it is interesting to say that I'm just not going to do, and maybe I don't understand enough about stand-up comedy. You could still go out to comedy clubs and smaller venues and work out. But if that's what you wanted to do. But if you're only doing it for those specials.
If you don't want to do it and you still have a huge platform, it's called a win.
Hi. Kristen from Columbus, Ohio, and I totally agree. We are in politically charged times right now, so you really can't fault the guy for wanting to do his comedy and share his opinions from the safety of his show.
Yeah, the show is safer than going to some, big venue. It's the world we live in.
Just last week, just to show you how fortunes turn, we were talking about former NBA player Pat Beverley because he was on a podcast where he was ripping on Klay Thompson for dating Megan Thee Stallion and that his game had gone off since he started dating her. And he got headlines for that. And Klay was really pissed off at him and said, you got to do better. And just a couple days later, then Pat Beverley gets arrested for a domestic incident. And initially everyone thought, oh, was this a girlfriend or his wife or something? No. We now know the details, and it is, according to police, his sister who he attacked. And pretty brutally, from the description at least, this fight that he got into with her over someone that she had brought to the house.
No. So what happened is Pat Bev's 15-year-old sister says she snuck out at night. When she came back, she was caught by her mom. And
this is all at Pat's house?
No, at Pat's mom's
The mom's house?
Yes, at the mom's house.
Okay. So where's Pat?
Follow me. So they find out that she left the home to go to a nearby park to meet with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Now, Pat Bev
Teenagers
says
do.
that this boyfriend is 18 years old.
Okay.
Turns out he's 17. But anyway,
got it.
As this is all going on, mom catches the daughter. She calls Pat to come over and deal with the situation. Pat shows up.
Why is she calling Pat? Why isn't she dealing with
he
his
lives
sister?
nearby, and he
Come deal with your sister's acting out again.
Right.
Okay.
So
he's the father figure.
Pat scolds her, says, you're going to ruin your life, etc., things like that. In the argument, he ends up grabbing the 15-year-old sister by the neck.
According to police.
According to what the 15-year-old said to police. Picked her up, that her legs were hanging off the ground. As he held her up for about 20 to 30 seconds, she lost breath.
20 to 30 seconds?
Yes. He ends up taking her out into the open area of the house, and she claims that he threw her onto a couch and punched her in the left eye. And that at one point he made a comment along the lines of, "I will be the family member to kill you."
Now,
so wait a minute. So did the 15-year-old call the police? Was she the
No.
one?
So
Did the mom call the police?
The mom told her to call the boyfriend to come to the house to have a chit chat, and he witnessed allegedly all these acts happening.
So wait a minute. So before Patrick arrived, the mom called the boyfriend to come over, and he happens to be there when Patrick's there.
As this is all happening, yeah.
Why did she call the boyfriend? Oh, because
she
thought Patrick would deal with both of them.
He's going to deal with both of them.
And
These teenagers down.
Nowhere
set
in
them
this
straight.
nowhere in this probable cause affidavit does it say that Patrick did anything to the boyfriend. They actually told him
Sounds like the
to-
boyfriend walked in the middle of this.
So
right, and then as he was leaving, that's when he called law enforcement. to
So
help
the
with
boyfriend
this.
called.
Yes.
In domestic incidents, like there's often in the affidavit, does it say that they found marks on this?
Marks on the neck
sister?
and some red spots on the eye that she claimed.
Because
that
he
she
said
was
he punched her in the eye.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. So felony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Third-degree felony.
Bryce Gruber I'm actually abroad right now, but we don't know all the details yet. We know a lot of details and they're really scary. I think the wildest part is we have a young woman who is a minor who is reporting that an adult male, a family member no less, is threatening her life and choking her. This is really scary stuff. And there's this added element of fear when you consider that this family member has a tremendous amount of fame, social status, probably a lot of money and relative power, but bigger than all of that is that he has physical stature. He is a big man. He's a professional athlete.
You know, the one thing that's interesting is going to be what the 15-year-old and the mom do if this thing actually goes forward, whether they,
Do
press the
they-
claim or do they say...
But also, even if they don't press it,
They can still go after
they can go after it.
him.
It makes
Yeah.
it harder to actually get a conviction.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Nicki Minaj had her big day at the United Nations, and she supported President Trump when he said that we may have to even send troops to aid in what's going on in Nigeria. Interestingly, she also addresses her fans who have been wondering why she's getting political.
Be right back.
Nicki Minaj had her big day at the United Nations, where she was addressing an issue she has taken up as her cause celeb, really. She has been on social media a lot talking about the reports of genocidal attacks on Christians in Nigeria. And she supported President Trump when he said that we may have to even send troops to aid in what's going on in Nigeria. So she was invited by the U.S. ambassador to the UN to actually speak at the UN today. Here's what she had to say. Interestingly, she also addresses her fans who have been wondering why she's getting political.
I must say, I am very nervous. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria. Barbz, I know you're somewhere listening. I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice.
So I gotta say, I've been around a long time. I have never seen an address before the United Nations turn that way, where what she's clearly saying is there are a lot of Barbs who are pissed off that she's supporting Donald Trump, and what she's saying is, hey, this is a righteous issue, and yet she did mention thanking Trump.
Yes.
So that was interesting, that she, in a way, waved the red flag.
By starting out by thanking President Trump.
That's right. And then decided to address her fans, which is just something I've never seen at a United Nations speech.
We obviously cut that down. I don't want to make it seem like she did actually talk about the issue.
Right.
Because she did address that as well. But it is interesting that she is I'm not surprised that she's keenly aware of what her fans have been saying on social media.
She knows they're pissed off.
Right. Well, the Barbz are a political fan base. You know, they sway, public opinions. Exactly. But they sway public opinion to no end, and, just to address them.
I don't think she's trying to get them to move. And I think she just wants to keep them. I think she wants to make sure that the Barbz...
It's interesting that what we didn't hear her say, at least in that clip, and I know she spoke longer, but she didn't say, I'm asking for your support.
Right. She's not asking them so much for support for the issue, but keep supporting me because I love you. Right. That's kind of what she's saying.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's just
not
never
bad.
Heard it before.
But aren't rappers the best to be neutral? Can't they enforce
No, there's no reason for them to be neutral.
Hi, I'm Nikki from Nashville. This comment is very odd. It's, like you said, Harvey, it's not something you typically hear in front of the UN. It seems self-serving a little bit at the end of the day. I'm all for anyone with a platform using their voice to support issues that they care about and they believe in, but turning it back on her fans, I'm sure there were people in the audience wondering who the heck the Barbz are, who she was addressing.
Right.
There's a bunch of ambassadors listening to
the translator's going, I don't have a word. I don't have the word for that.
They're like, barbed wire? What are we talking about?
Coming up.
Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams, on her return to Atlanta, things got pretty edgy on the flight. She was escorted off of the plane when she touched down in Atlanta.
But there was something bad that happened on that plane.
Be right back.
Well, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams made it out of BravoCon without any big hubbub. Survived a weekend in Vegas. But on her return to Atlanta, things got pretty edgy on the flight. In fact, she was escorted off of the plane when she touched down in Atlanta. Police escorted her off the plane.
She does not look worse for wear, but there was something bad that happened on that plane.
Right. There's a reason that the police are walking her off. They're not there to protect her from paparazzi. They wanted to have a conversation with her because of what happened on the plane, where apparently she got into it with another passenger. Now, it's interesting that we don't have video, and I don't know if the police did also
I don't think the police
escort
talked
the
to
other
her.
person.
I don't think the police talked to her. It's federal jurisdiction. The police are there at the airport to get her off and get her out of there, but they don't really
get her out of there. What do you mean?
Because whatever
she wouldn't normally be greeted by police.
What I'm saying is that whatever happened in the air is not jurisdiction
I understand that it's
of the Atlanta PD.
It's FBI's jurisdiction.
So they're just escorting her out. They're not going to. I doubt they're going to question her, but the FBI is, and that's the issue. is that she's now under federal investigation.
And we've been trying since yesterday to get details on what actually went down on the plane. The fact that no one on the plane has come forward and reached out to us is kind of crazy.
We don't know. Yeah,
we
like
just
a passenger
know
in the plane.
All her lawyer is saying is that there was some kind of verbal altercation.
That usually doesn't trigger
but they're
an
not
FBI
giving
probe.
details of what, like, you know, they're saying this woman was unhinged, that she was provoking Porsha, but they're not saying what specifically was said verbally.
And
that's
what Porsha did.
Correct.
Because,
Correct.
look, if you disrupt a flight and if the captain comes out and says, stop it, and they don't, that in itself could be a federal offense.
Law enforcement of any agency didn't escort the other passenger off the plane. And I think that's interesting. That at least at the outset, the way that it was reported to law enforcement is that Porsha is the one in the wrong, but her lawyer is saying it's actually the exact opposite.
Drew Barnett Hamilton here from Los Angeles, California. I'm just really hoping we can trust Porsha's lawyer, that she's not the one starting the drama, because she brings the best drama on Housewives. So we need her to just be safe in Atlanta.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Oh, I mean...
No, he's referring to your bookshelf.
DVDs.
Those
Movies.
are DVDs?
Well, fiction or nonfiction?
Bad eyesight. Bad eyesight.
Both. I'm a happy filmmaker of all kinds.
Okay, what else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Amanda. I'm from Nigeria. My topic is Wicked, and I think it's great Ariana Grande choosing a new path for her life, and it's nice she's giving her fans a heads up.
All right. I wonder if Wicked is going to be big in Nigeria.
It's going to be big around the world. One more.
Hi, it's Nana Mings from New York, and in regards to the Trump situation, he can avoid it as much as he wants. He needs to address this head on because the public is believing this. Whether the allegations is true or not, Trump has to comment on this, and you need to care about the public perception. So in regards to Trump calling anybody a pig, that can't happen.
Coming up.
All right, we're going to send you off with a little tennis and a big old diss. At least that is how some fans are viewing Drake's outing on a tennis court.
And there's no other way to view this, by the way.
Well, it could be innocent. He was out playing tennis with Sexy Red.
Be right back.
All right, we're going to send you off with a little tennis and a big old diss. At least that is how some fans are viewing Drake's outing on a tennis court.
And there's no other way to view this, by the way.
Well, it could be innocent, because maybe Drake does things innocently. He was out playing tennis with Sexy Red and posted a bunch of photos of their day on the court. I'm not sure if they really did play tennis. But anyway, some fans, after he posted it, some fans commented, Serena Williams upgrade. Now, clearly that's not an upgrade tennis-wise. You can talk about which woman you find more attractive. But
you got to know.
The context here is that Drake and Serena dated.
They dated back in the day.
Back in the day, and then she, of course, was at the Super Bowl halftime show.
And she was part of the Kendrick performance.
Right. So everyone thought that she was dissing Drake by doing that.
Which she was.
Well, all right. Well, if she was dissing him, then yes, he's definitely dissing her, and Sexy Red is in on it. Is that what you want to hear? He hearted the comment that said it's a Serena upgrade.
That's a diss.
Pretty much a diss.
That's a diss. Stay in your lane. No tennis.
See you tomorrow.